and welcome to the Zendesk Morning Show. Today is our 14th episode and finale episode for the series. When we first ventured into the notion of delivering a show like this, it's hard to believe we were just entering lockdown. I shared with you my favourite book, Tuesdays with Murray, and how I hoped during the series you would pick up and learn something, just as Mitch Albom had done with his old college professor Murray, who he re-found later in life. I've had the pleasure to bring some amazing people onto the show and equally work with a dedicated and talented team to deliver the content you have seen and grown with us over the last 14 episodes. You've heard us fumble. I've messed up the pronunciation of names of our customers that my colleagues have teased me about. We've had technical issues, and through it all, we've had so much fun getting to know each other, the real people in their homes, our customers, and each other. So today, we want to leave you something equally as strong for the series for this episode. We entered the show about talking about the new normal. As our economies start to open, let's move to the second gear and talk about the next normal. Because the reality is we all need to be shifting and pivoting our strategies over the next 6 to 12 months, keeping agile, which you're going to hear more about. So what's in store today? Well, we're going to cover the top CRM trends, shifting roles of businesses, and things to consider as you adapt your workforce in the months ahead. We're also going to hear a clip from our CEO of a program he's hosting with other amazing leaders on businesses in the future. So let's get started by hearing from our President of Products, Adrian McDermott, to share with us the top 5 CRM trends that are shaping the future as we look forward today.
So let's review the 5 bets that we've been thinking about for the future of CRM. Firstly, AI won't be crap anymore. If you apply it in the right place, if you work on AI deployments, if you think about the effect of poor results, of false positives, of false negatives in the experience, and you focus in on automating things that can be automated and, making humans more productive and also obviating the need for people to be involved in repetitive tasks, you can really make a difference in your customer experience and a positive one for your users. It doesn't have to be negative, right? Embracing messaging. Messaging is the trend. It's the thing that everybody does. It's where we're investing a lot of R&D time because we believe that, conversational support, conversational commerce is going to make a huge change. We think that all service will ultimately be self-service, and that's an investment in knowledge, and it's investment in the way that you think about customer journeys and bots and the control that the user can have over their flow versus that which is imposed upon them. We're thinking a lot about data and how data can really set you free and what you can do when you're empowered with data and you can analyze your customer experience. And then finally, we're thinking about how you can, replace some or all of your developers with citizen developers and build your own experiences from within the tool set. To have sort of a great multi-part, many parts of the lifecycle CRM that builds good customer experiences. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Adrian, and I hope you enjoyed hearing about the 5 big bets we're making on the future of CRM.
We've learned from Adrian about some of the top CRM trends that will shape the coming year. Let's pivot to hear about the top opportunities and challenges for marketing, sales, and data functions. I couldn't end our series without including a leader that inspires me daily. Welcome back to the show, my manager and CMO, Jeff Titterton, who will be joined by my colleague and peer in EMEA, Dan Bailey, and also our leader of data and analytics, Melissa Raymond.
Hi, Perlini. Thanks for having me. So the biggest challenge that CMOs and other marketing leaders such as myself are facing with the COVID-19 crisis is that we're having to reimagine the entire customer journey. And as stewards of that entire customer journey, we've had to really pivot a lot of what we've been doing in the last few months since this crisis started, because we can no longer reach our customers and engage with them in the same ways that we could earlier this year. But this is actually also turning out to be a great opportunity for us, because it's enabling us to really throw out our old playbook, some of which was really based on the way we used to do things is the way we continue to do things. And by having to throw out that old playbook, we're really innovating and learning new and more modern ways to engage with our customers that are simpler, more effective, and frankly, more helpful to our customers.
I think we have to think about the distributed world in which we are now all living when the businesses and the world restores to some form of normal. The reality is we're still going to have distributed teams and distributed customers, and we have to incorporate that in the way that we support businesses. And then above all else, we have to absolutely retain empathy in everything we do. I think the last few months, above all else, has really emphasized that. And I believe that will be integral to the way that businesses interact with one another and with their customers moving forward.
We need to leverage data in new ways to better understand and predict how our customers are being affected. We need to more efficiently deliver insights to the teams creating and proactively offering new solutions tailor-made for our customers' new experiences. And we need to incorporate more deep analytics to predict and then measure the impacts of our actions. As we progress from here through the recovery phase and adjust to the eventual new normal, it will be even more important to have flexibility with resilience built into our tech and data infrastructure.
Jeff spoke about reimagining our roles, and this is sound, solid advice for all of us, no matter which role or function you are in. So how are organizations adapting? Joining us today is the Digital Disruption Officer of Conrad, General Manager of Captain, and CEO of Personia, to share with us adaptations they are making in their organizations as they rethink and reimagine their customer approach. Welcome, Alessis, Antonio, and Johannes.
Now, after the corona, it's time to make us ready on the new changes of the customer's behavior. I believe we will see three major changes in our business. The first one, that B2B customers will still continue to work from homes. This means our services and products need to be available for them from every location where they are. The second, we will see by many of our customers a heavy focus on digitalization and automatization. This will require a lot of new products and services, so we need to continue to work on our platform strategy and further increase millions of products on our B2B marketplace. By B2C customers, we expected lowering their spending. This means the pressure on our margin will increase, so we need to make sure that our processes are automatized as much as possible to offer best price to our customers.
Imagine our business has been very impacted by COVID crisis. And that's why today the biggest challenge for Captain is to ensure safety both for passengers and drivers. We have launched various initiatives. The most concrete measure in France is the commitment for our partner drivers to drive with a plastic divider, separating them from the passenger, and we are providing this security for free. We want to be the safest alternative for citizens to move across their city, and making this is definitely our top priority.
Looking into the next 12 months, we of course see a lot of uncertainty in the market, and this will definitely have an impact on our growth ambitions, both in terms of new customers, but also our organizational growth. For us, it's a big challenge because we have ever since been very bullish when it came to investing into customer-facing roles. So at the moment, around a fourth of Personia works directly with our customers. But during the crisis, besides pure revenue growth, profitability suddenly became much more a focus topic for us. And as a result, we generally try to become more efficient in what we do. For example, we invest in setting up existing tools to their full power, but we definitely cut back on our hiring plan. So with the capacity constraints on one hand, but the awareness about cost on the other, I see a big opportunity for us, but in fact for many companies to be smarter about approaching existing and new topics and actually reinvent themselves.
We've heard about roles and the way we need to rethink about our organizations differently. Let's think about how we actually need to adapt our workforce in terms of support and delivery for this continued customer experience. Joining us is Tom Kaiser, our COO, and Sarah Manning to talk about the pivots we are making at Zendesk.
I think like for all of us, a big part of my role is planning and then executing the plan. And right now it's incredibly difficult to figure out what the plan is. I think we're all living in real time. We're all reacting in real time to the things that are going on and the challenges that are being put in front of us. So I see the greatest opportunity and the greatest challenge to all companies that are out there that are serving customers, that are taking care of their employees, is how to build flexibility and agility into your business model. How do you organize yourself? How do you think about the structures and the decision making required to very quickly be able to react to opportunities or challenges and risks that come up in your business and be able to orchestrate those in a way that the team can really execute them in a highly functioning and highly valuable way to both customers and to the core values of your company. And the way we're thinking about that at Zendesk is around how do we set the North Stars really clearly and the decision-making frameworks really clearly, and how do we push that decision-making down into our teams, and our teams structured in a way that allow us to cross-functionally go after opportunities.
COVID-19 has become the accelerator for one of the greatest workplace transformations of certainly my lifetime. And this will pose huge challenges for HR teams. Over the next year, I think these challenges will include, firstly, reconsidering the workplace. This mass work-from-home experiment that many of us are in will result in new, flexible, more agile ways of working that I believe will continue long past this pandemic. Secondly, employee well-being. This must be top of mind. Working remotely has many benefits, however, it needs to come with a warning. The risks that come with being always on are real and will lead to increased stress and burnout if we don't put in place mechanisms to alleviate these. And thirdly, I think maintaining connections and relationships. Those connections that are built in an office environment can be hard to replicate virtually, so we need to rethink how we communicate with and how we engage with employees. I think what each of these do present, though, is the opportunity to really shape the future of work.
The Morning Show for us has always been about bringing together the real stories from our employees, our customers, partners, and as a company, the learnings and challenges we are all going through as we navigate this new normal. Businesses are still figuring a lot of things out about the future. Our new reality means businesses have to focus on their customers and they need to be more agile and transparent than ever. Our CEO Mikkel kicked off a series recently called Shared Screens, where he's been talking about that future with a few of his fellow friends and leaders. Let's watch a short clip from a shared screen with Peter Fenton, a VC from Benchmark, who always had big picture view of where the world was going.
How is business for VCs these days?
First of all, recognizing we are catastrophically privileged. So, you and I both, I think, are not on the front lines of serving people who are in the, apex of this disease. And in the VC world, I think we're, trying to calibrate. And I think that's the advice that we've been giving to our entrepreneurs, which is, okay, what is this reality? What does it look like? What are the empirical markers that you can point to set up the planning for what happens next? But I think we're gonna pull the future of a work that's integrated in more fluid ways to our life into the present. And I think that's exciting.
I've always relied on you. We've known each other for many years for big picture kind of context. The sharing economy has been a tremendous force over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? What's the sharing economy going to look like on the other side of this?
I think the sharing economy is going to have to invest more heavily in the kind of trust mechanisms that elevate people's sense of being safe and secure when they participate in it. But I think that's a solvable problem. We'll end up in a more vibrant, I think, more information-saturated sharing economy as a result of this that will be a net benefit. We can make sense of Instacart, DoorDash, Uber Eats have all exploded in growth. So I think that there's going to be this sort of steroidal effect in many places on the sharing economy that's a net positive, with this burden of trust being elevated.
Another area that I know you've been close to, the infrastructure of basically all our relationships these days, like the social media.
I think there's a form of social communication that's going to emerge, which compensates for what's lost by not being physically proximate. And I think that's a wide open area for entrepreneurs to go do work in. This has been, as by any measure, and if you've gotten as many forwards from TikTok videos as I have, as much as this has been Zoom's moment, this has been ByteDance's moment. I think that mass popularization of we all have a creative voice is being tapped into by that company uniquely at the moment.
If you want to learn more about what other leaders are saying about the future, tune into the Shared Screens series. The link is available in the resources section of the Morning Show homepage. Thank you to all our speakers today, and thank you all for joining us for the entire series. You can join us on Twitter, #Zendesk Morning Show, to discuss any of the topics covered during the series or to give us your thoughts on the show itself. If you missed any of the episodes, remember to visit the Morning Show homepage where previous episodes are available on demand and links to all the great content covered in the series. We will be back in the autumn for Series 2 as we discuss what life has been for businesses as we return to the next normal. Take care, remember to reimagine your roles, practice empathy, and never lose sight of that agility.